Vanessa Velasquez, and today I'll be talking about how to read and understand food labels. Have you ever walked through the supermarket and ever wondered, what are all these food products and labels really telling us? What are we consuming? What are we putting in our bodies? So, good thing for you. Today I'll be talking about all about how to read, how to understand food labels, what is it telling us, and how are we actually fueling our bodies. So that brings me to my first point. When reading the food labels, I want to switch your mindset a little bit. Instead of just focusing on, how many calories or how much protein am I getting out of this product, I want you to think, how is this going to fuel me? How is this fueling me? What is it doing to my body? And is it nutrient dense or empty calories? So, which you might ask, Vanessa, what is nutrient dense versus empty calories? So, the difference is nutrient dense foods are filled with yummy vitamins and minerals and protein and all the good stuff that we want in our bodies. Empty calories, on the other hand, are foods that are just really added and high in sugar and fat. And maybe we want to limit more on those and not consume as much and put them inside our bodies. So, so now I have a couple products here that I want to go over with you and explain what the food labels is. So first things first, I have this, there we go. I have this organic, just Greek plain yogurt, nothing fancy, but I'm going to use it as the food label. So the first things first, the first thing that it's the biggest that we're all drawn to is the calories. So this one has 90 calories. So to me, that means nothing if we're not looking into the serving size. So this is where a lot of marketing techniques happen. So a lot of companies do very, very, very small serving sizes in order to make the calories look smaller and tricking us. So this is why we really need to look into the serving size and really determine how much is the nutrient label giving us per serving. So this one has 3/4 cups. And there's 90 calories in that serving. So always keep in mind and start there. And we're just going to make our way to the bottom. So we covered the serving size. Always make sure you know how much a serving size is. And if you don't know, that's totally fine. You can always get out measuring cups and measure as well. The second thing that I want to look into is the total fat. So for that, I'm actually going to bring out a different prop, which is, this is just avocado oil. But the reason I'm bringing this out is because, let me get it focused first. So this has saturated fat, monosaturated fat, and polysaturated fat. So polysaturated fat and monosaturated fat are two fats that are not very common in many ingredients. They're usually found in avocados, olive oil, and a lot of nuts and seeds. So the reason that you are not going to see them in every label is because they're found usually in natural products. So that means that they're the healthy kind of fats that we want to consume. A little bit less healthy fats that I would advise to limit is going to be your saturated fat and your trans fat. So let me see. This one, this label here, under total fats, is going to have your saturated fat and then your trans fat. So this actually doesn't have anything, but it's always going to be under the total fat. So that's a good key to look for. So remember, saturated and trans fats, maybe not the healthiest for us, and then the polysaturated fats and the monosaturated fats are the good kind of fats that we do want and what our body needs. So, okay, we're good? Good? Okay. Okay, so now working down the food label, we cover serving sizes, the total fats, and now we're going to work down to the sodium. So the sodium can be a little bit tricky. So depending on any past medical history that you have, this is where you're going to be focusing on. So according to the CDC, they advise to consume less than 2,300 milligrams a day. So that's like a healthy portion of sodium. That can be very hard to track, especially during each meal. So a good eye of thumb that I like to say is if each label on the side is going to have some percentages, and that's called the daily value. So to make it easier, we're going to use the percentages. Here, let me focus a little bit. So here it's going to be on this side here, the percentages. So this one has 3% of sodium. So the CDC, again, recommends 5% in a serving size to be considered low, and then anything higher than 20% is considered higher per serving. So let's say this has 3%, but we have 2 servings, then that means it's 6%, which is still considered low. But let's say, for example, we were to consume a meal that the daily value per serving is 15%, but we're having 2 of that portions, that means we're at 30%. So that meal is considered higher in sodium. So that's just a good way to calculate how much or how high the, the meal, the serving size you are consuming is. So, okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to where it gets really confusing, where a lot of people misunderstand. So right here, total carbohydrates. So here is where we get a lot of subcategories. So fiber is included in here, and then total sugar and then added sugar is included in here. So you might ask, Vanessa, what is total sugar and what is added sugar? Good question. So the total added sugar is the sugar that is completely in this product, entirely. So the added sugar is the amount of sugar that people or the company that they physically added in this product. So the total added sugar minus the added sugar is what it's naturally found in here. So this one, for example, has total sugar of 5. I'm trying to focus it. So it has total sugar of 5 and then 0 added sugar. So that means the 5 grams of sugar is naturally found in this product. So 5 grams of sugar is naturally found in yogurt. If, for example, let's say, let me get this, grape jelly. So this one, as you can tell in the ingredients, it has 8 grams of total sugar and 7 grams of added sugar. So that means that 7 out of 8 grams is what they physically added into this product. So that means only 1 gram is naturally found in the grape jelly. And the reason why the total carbohydrates includes the fiber and then the total sugar is because our bodies digest sugar the same way as carbs. So our bodies digest, they don't know the difference between that, so it plays the same role in our body. So that's why it's in the same subcategories. Okay, so just a little midpoint check. We cover the serving sizes and making sure we're looking into that to see how much of the food label is providing us. And then we looked into the calories, we looked into the total fats, the saturated and trans fats versus the polysaturated fats, and then monosaturated fats. We looked at the sodium, and then we looked into the total carbohydrates and having all those subcategories. So the next thing is to look for is what I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are familiar with, is the protein. So this one has 16 grams of protein. It's going to be all the way to the bottom. And a good rule of thumb is if a product has higher sugar than protein, then that means maybe it's not the best nutrient dense food for you. And I always like to have my protein to be higher than the sugar. That means it's going to provide me more nutrients that our body needs versus empty calories in the sugar. So if you're looking at a product and you say to Vanessa, this has 20 grams of sugar and only 1 gram of a protein, that's totally okay. Maybe next time be more cautious and maybe choose something that's a little bit more healthier. Okay, last things is the ingredient list. So let me pop this up. So this one is going to be all the way to the bottom. So for the ingredients, I like to say the shorter, the better. So with the ingredients, the good thing about it is that it's listed in order, meaning that the very first ingredient is what is mostly made up of this product. So for this one, the first one is just grape juice, the second is corn syrup, and the third is high fructose corn syrup. So those are the 3 main things that are in this product. So corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup are 2 of the ingredients that I would advise to limit. just because, again, those are empty calories that you want. We want ingredients that are good for our body and nutrient dense. So for the Greek yogurt, as you can see, right here, only one ingredient. It's organic non-fat milk. So that means that it's going to provide more of the healthy, full, whole food nutrients. So if you can't pronounce an ingredient, or it's longer than the actual labels, then I would say maybe look around to see a different product and see what other product can be more nutrient dense for you. So yeah, that's what all I have for today, and I hope this video helps you understand how to read and how to understand food labels better. I always like to say a fruit is a fruit and a vegetable is a vegetable. It's never going to have a label or added product to it. So just keep it in mind. We want stuff to fuel us, to be healthy for us, to give us energy versus those empty calories. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time, bye. Have a great day.